Me? For real? Oh. You can call from the Bahamas using Rev Boy's prepaid home phone service and prepaid chat cards for much less.
Hey girl, are you ready?
You get free unlimited on-island calls, voicemail, and no internet service or ID is required.
Hello?
Rev Boy's prepaid home phone service and prepaid chat cards.
Hey, vai bien.
Staying in touch never sounded so good.
Good evening, Bahamas, and thanks for joining us at MB12. Coming up tonight in news, a man dies after what appears to be an accidental shooting this afternoon. The men police believe are behind a recent murder at Lazarito Road face charges in a magistrate's court. The former Prime Minister of Barbados urges the Bahamas to replace the Privy Council, a call for the removal of the chairman of the gaming board, and the history of the national pledge and the man behind it. We have those stories and much more coming up tonight. I'm Christina McNeil, and your MB12 starts right now. Thanks again for joining us. Police are investigating a shooting outside a car wash on Key West Street that has left a 25-year-old man dead this afternoon. As the rain came down on Key West Street, scores of area residents and relatives gathered to watch police process the scene. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Roll, gave us the details at the scene. He says police got a call about the incident around 4 this afternoon.
Police received reports of gunshots being discharged in the Key West Street area. Officers responded where they met a male suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to the upper body. EMS was summoned. Upon arrival, they made an examination of this male and pronounced the body lifeless. Our preliminary investigation so far reveals that two male, the deceased, along with another young man whom we believe is a juvenile, had in their possession a firearm, and somehow that firearm discharged and striking one of the men to the upper body. At this stage of the investigation, still preliminary, we're not sure yet the complete reason for that, but we have taken the shooter into custody.
Relatives identified the victim as William McKenzie. The two males were under a car wash tent next to McKenzie's grandmother's home when the shooting happened. As mortuary personnel took that body away, family and friends became extremely emotional. Roll says police have so far classified the incident as a homicide and not a murder. He says police were unsure of the circumstances surrounding the shooting death, but the deadly weapon was a handgun. Well, the two men police believe are behind the death of Reepson Jules, who was killed earlier this month, were arraigned before Chief Magistrate Roger Gomez on murder charges today. It is alleged that 22-year-old Bahamian Christopher Bethel of McKinney Drive and 29-year-old Haitian national Josie Adlison killed Jules on June 4th. The men, who were not represented by an attorney, were not required to enter a plea to the charges, and bail was denied. Both Bethel and Adelson have been remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until September 2nd. They will return on that date for service of a voluntary bill of indictment. In a separate matter, an 18-year-old man was charged with assaulting two police officers. It is alleged that on June 6th, James Eric Almanar, while in possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition, assaulted two policemen with a deadly weapon. Almanar could be seen in court using crutches. Bail was denied even though it was requested for medical reasons by Almanar. He was remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until July 25, 2013, when a voluntary bill of indictment will be served. And police on Eleuthera need your help to find a man they want to question in connection to burglary and rape. Police are searching for a 23-year-old Kevy Cambridge of Colebrook Street, Harbor Island. Police are asking anyone with information on his whereabouts to contact the Eleuthera Police or 919. Well, fire officials and additional police from Grand Bahama were on Bimini today following a blaze near the Bimini police station. Our news team understands the station itself was spared any damage. Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade says the alarm sounded just after 4:30 this morning as the shed near the station and the fire truck went up in flames. Greenslade says officers acted quickly to prevent the fire from spreading and the blaze was brought under control. Investigations continue. Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, Loretta Butler Turner, has said the opposition will support any legislation that will increase women's rights. But now she is criticizing the Christie administration for not supporting legislation that would have made marital rape illegal years ago. Celeste Nixon has the details in this report.
Butler Turner branded the government's push to criminalize marital rape as hypocritical, as she claimed the PLP failed to support the bill when it was first introduced under the Ingram administration.
That anything to promote women that the government puts forward, we will be holding their hands hand in hand. Unfortunately, we never get that bipartisan relationship when they are in opposition, and it is sad. It is truly embarrassing for us to go to on the world stage and to talk about being a first world country with progressive legislation where we are still probably looked upon around the world as probably being more regressive than some of our Arab brothers and countries.
Last week, Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson announced to the Human Rights Council in Geneva that the government intended to launch a public education campaign which would make passing the legislation more successful the second time around. In 2009, Butler Turner, then Minister of State for Social Development, tabled a bill in the House of Assembly that would have made spousal rape a crime with a possible life sentence. At the time, while in opposition, Senator Maynard Gibson asked the Ingram administration to withdraw the marital rape bill, suggesting that the government was rushing the proposed legislation.
That it was about 2 years ago that I tabled the bill on marital rape, and it never moved beyond the position of tabling because we went into the summer recess at that time where we had many town meetings and discourses, and at that time we did not get the support of the current government, the PLP, the sitting minister or the minister that is now reporting to the Human Rights Commission in Geneva.
Butler Turner said the FNM will support any move the government makes to increase the rights of women. Butler Turner suggested the absence of that law proved another strike against equal rights for women in this country.
We have lost so many opportunities with our women and their offspring who are unable to be in the Bahamas today because many of them have had to stay in third countries because they don't have the capacity to have citizenship passed on to them.
The controversial topic was the subject of much public debate, with some religious leaders claiming it interfered with the sanctity of marriage. Reporting for MB12, I'm Celeste Nixon.
And with many Bahamians calling for the Privy Council to be replaced as the final court of appeal, the former Prime Minister of Barbados, Owen Arthur, is making the case for the Caribbean Court of Justice to be that replacement. Jasmine Bonmi has more in this report.
The former Barbados Prime Minister addressing dozens of people this afternoon, opening up on what he believes needs to be done to achieve nation building and focusing on the Caribbean Court of Justice. Arthur, who gave the keynote address at a lecture series at the College of the Bahamas this afternoon, highlighted the need for more Caribbean countries to join the CCJ.
Throughout the Caribbean, the functioning of our judiciary has been one of the most dignified aspects of the Caribbean civilization. Indeed, this country has known what it is to have a Jamaican serve as your Chief Justice. There is therefore no good reason why we should not provide justice for our people as an indigenous exercise without having to look to the former colonial master for assistance. And there's every good reason why this should be undertaken as a cooperative regional effort.
Arthur said despite the CCJ handling a number of matters over the years, there is still resistance by many Caribbean nations. Barbados, Belize, and Guyana have replaced the Privy Council as their court of last resort.
It is therefore a very shameful condition that having created a Caribbean Court of Justice, there is such a great resistance in the region to accepting its full jurisdiction. Barbados, historically judged to be among the most British of all Caribbean states, have accepted readily the jurisdiction of the Caribbean Court.
The Privy Council's decision to overturn the death sentence of convicted murderer Maxo Tito reignited the debate over whether the Bahamas should replace the London-based body as its final court of appeal. In that matter, the Privy Council ruled that the death penalty should be reserved for the worst of the worst murderers. Back in 2011, Chief Justice Sir Michael Barnett said it's not a question of if we will ever move toward the CCJ, but rather when. As we develop as a nation, the Chief Justice said it's only natural that the Bahamas look to its own regional court for the resolution of disputes. However, he acknowledged that this decision rests with politicians. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bottomy.